One of DC's most anticipated films is the sequel to the Joker movie starring Joaquin Phoenix. Several details have come out about this upcoming movie, including that Lady Gaga will be part of the cast and will be playing Dr. Harleen Frances Quinzel, also known as Harley Quinn. Previously on this channel, we have discussed the possibility that Harley Quinn is not real and is just part of the Joker's imagination. If you want to know more about this theory, I suggest you go through our previous video and find out all the details. Despite this great news, there is one detail that has not yet been revealed which has many of us intrigued. This detail is the possibility of seeing Batman in the Joker, folie à deux. Does this possibility really exist? If so, which Batman would we be seeing? Today, we will be discussing all the details related to this question, so stay tuned to this video. And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. To get into these details, we first have to go back to the first Joker movie, since there is a scene which contains everything we will talk about today. The Joker tells the story of a lonely and mentally ill man named Arthur Fleck, played by Joaquin Phoenix, who gradually acquires a more disturbing and violent behavior until he finally adopts the nickname Joker and inspires chaotic violence throughout the streets of Gotham with an act of public violence. He shoots and kills TV host Murray Franklin, played by Robert De Niro, on live television. The key to Arthur's spiral into madness is new information he receives from his mother Penny, played by Frances Conroy, with whom he lives. Arthur finds a letter Penny has written to Thomas Wayne, in which she claims that Wayne is Arthur's real father. When Arthur confronts his mother about this information, she claims that she worked for Thomas Wayne, who was apparently a nice man, and that the two had a love affair. But when she had Arthur, Thomas, who is a public figure with political aspirations, took steps to conceal the legitimacy of his paternity. Arthur eventually ends up confronting Thomas, but ends up confronting his butler Alfred Pennyworth, who says that Penny is lying. The latter claims that she is a mentally unstable woman who had an obsession with Thomas, and that he is not Arthur's father. Arthur locates his mother's medical records at Arkham Asylum, which state that he was abandoned as a child and adopted by Penny, whose abusive boyfriend caused severe physical trauma to Arthur and her. The reports also state that Penny suffers from psychosis and lies compulsively, although Penny later claims that Thomas falsified these reports to further conceal the truth of her illegitimate child. The Joker is a film that delights in blurring the line between fiction and reality, as we later learned that the relationship we have seen between Arthur and his neighbor Sophie, played by Zazie Beetz, was a figment of his imagination. On the other hand, the final scene brought the entire film into question, as it presented the possibility that we had simply witnessed a long-running joke, which the Joker has been telling to a mental health professional while locked up in Arkham Asylum. A multiple-choice origin story, so to speak. This put many of us in doubt, as it left us wondering which of the two is telling the truth. On one hand, we know that Thomas was a man with a lot of power and might be able to do everything Penny said. But if those medical records are true, Penny was a mentally unstable woman and could have made it all up, just as Arthur does at times during the movie. The funny thing about all this is that in this movie we get to see Batman, but not as you may be thinking. In the scene where Arthur wants to confront Thomas Wayne to clarify all his doubts, and if we are honest, ours too, we see how he has a very peculiar interaction with a child in the Wayne mansion. Obviously, this child is no other than Bruce Wayne himself, and you would think that after what happened, we would not see the young Bruce anymore, but this was not the case. In the Joker's final scene, we see how thanks to Arthur's influence, there is chaos in Gotham. And if you look closely, We can see in the movie scene how Bruce and Martha Wayne try to protect their beloved son Bruce, making sure that he cannot be separated from them. This is where it gets much more interesting, as the Batman origin story tells that young Bruce was on his way home from watching a movie with his parents when a mugger tries to snatch his mother's necklace. The mugger ends up shooting Bruce's parents, leaving only Bruce alive. The young Bruce Wayne then vows to avenge his parents, dedicating the rest of his life to fighting criminals like the one who killed them. Over the years, Batman's origin story has changed, but there is one detail which remains constant, and that is the one I mentioned above. So let's go back to the beginning. Is there really a chance of seeing Batman and the Joker 2, Folie à Deux? Yes, there is, and it's much more likely than you might think. And since we know this, we have to answer the second question: which Batman would we be seeing? I think that if we see Batman, we would be seeing a Batman in his early stages, or as many might call him, a Batman proto. What does this mean? Well, we would be seeing a very young Batman, without his iconic costume and all the things we are used to seeing, and making it easier for us to identify who he is, which we have seen before in the Gotham series. What is rumored is that we will have a time jump between the two films, so the Bruce Wayne that was presented in the first film will have grown considerably. But tell me, what do you think about this theory? Do you think we will see Batman in the Joker sequel? What do you think this Batman will be like? Do you think it will be a young Batman? For more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You are on the Oasis Geek.